And welcome back to Much Ado About Rugby, your weekly rugby podcast where we chat about everything rugby. Today, we are going to go through our predicted Lions starting 15 and substitutions for the first test in South Africa coming up later this summer. So without further ado, we will jump straight into it and start off with our front row. We'll do each position kind of row by row on the pitch. So we'll start off with front row. Maxin, if you can give us your 1, 2, and 3 for the test starting 15 for the Lions against South Africa.
So at number 1, I've gone for Wyn Jones, had a great Six Nations for Wales. Number 2, I've gone for Jamie George. And number 3, I've gone for Carl Sinclair.
Not even the Irish players.
No.
Mate, no Irish players who are probably the best pack in the world right now.
The Irish and the rest of the pack.
Right, tell us yours then, Mal.
I've gone for Joe Marler at number 1. Absolute machine. Jamie George at number 2. And Tadhg Furlong at number 3.
I'd like to be
pretty solid, I'd say.
I'd like to be a little bit more realistic than Mal and say that Joe Marler is likely realistically not going to go. So I've actually gone for a little bit of a hybrid of your two front rows. So I've gone for Wyn Jones, Jamie George, and Tadhg Furlong. Furlong's in excellent form for Ireland and Leinster at the moment, and Wyn Jones has been in good form for Wales. Jamie George goes without saying, Lions experience, same with Furlong. How can you leave him out, really?
A lot of people have been saying Cowan Douchey over Jamie George, but I just don't see how that's possible, to be honest.
I think Jamie George is just too reliable.
Too reliable.
Yeah, he's too reliable. And I think against South Africa, you need especially set piece line out. He's just unbelievably reliable.
Yeah.
So if I had Sink at 3 in hindsight, maybe I think it's a toss up between him and Furlong. Probably Furlong might actually tip it.
Nah, Furlong is by far the best option there. I think, just not being biased to Ireland, but he is.
Not being biased to Ireland, but he's Irish.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think you can have after what happened in the World Cup final. You know, that was the last time South Africa played, and Sinclair got kind of demolished a little bit. So
didn't he get concussed in the first 10 minutes?
Yeah,
and that's
exactly demolished.
Or you look at it in the way that he's got match experience against the Saffers at a high level, doesn't he?
I don't know. Can you really counter that with someone who can step like Tadhg Furlong? That's what Tadhg Furlong offers, man.
Furlong is a beast.
He's an absolute ballerina.
Mate, do you not remember when he absolutely bumper-clatted Brodie Retallick? Literally had picked him up and threw him to the ground.
But
yeah,
I think with Sinclair, you have something different where Sinclair actually, he's a prop and he makes line breaks, and finishes line breaks.
Do we need that though? Do we need line breaking props, or do we just need
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I think we need powerhouses.
But he's also a powerhouse. That's the thing. I think no doubt. I think Furlong's probably in better form than him at the moment. But I think
we'll come on to the bench in a minute. But yeah, obviously you can't leave Sink out completely, can you? But
yeah.
He's there. Don't worry, Maxon. He's not completely out of the picture. But no, that's an interesting front row. So I think overall there we've gone with a combination of Wyn Jones, Jamie George, and Furlong, which is
I think Jamie George is everyone's. Well, us three, Sir-y.
You think? Do you think Mako Vinopola gets anywhere near?
Yeah, he's on my bench.
Yeah, I nearly put I nearly didn't put him on the bench, but I was thinking I do just prefer him to Wyn Jones. To be honest, I don't rate Wyn Jones that much.
I just think you need some lines experience, and also, you've got that two English props on the bench for me. Then it's kind of, you got that connection there, and they'll come on, and they're obviously starting for England at the moment, so they're not that bad. Mm-hmm. So bring them off the bench for the Lions, absolutely insane.
I think Joe Marler is the best option at 1 though, regardless of whether he goes.
I would agree, but I think for a realistic perspective, you got to go with who might.
Do you actually think he's the best? He's the best one.
Genuinely. Right now, I think he genuinely is. Yeah, he's actually a beast. He's actually a beast.
He didn't even cross my mind. Not gonna lie. Maybe that's just because he hasn't been around.
He hasn't been playing for England, but
he was the first person that crossed my mind. But then I was like, yeah, he can't. I don't know. Realistically, I think
he's playing so well for Quins. He's actually sick.
Everyone's playing.
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot about
Mate, yeah, this is essentially a Quinn's team. Don't forget.
And my Lions team is. Have you seen the
Quinn.
highlights team for this week?
All right, Maxine, what's your second row like?
This was the one of the areas I struggled most for. I feel like this is going to be. There's going to be loads of debate about the second row partnership. For me, the obvious shoo-in is Manu Tuilagi, despite the penalties he's been giving away. I think he's too valuable, and I think he's a perfect person to play against South Africa, and we know how good he is. Second row partner was the one I struggled with the most, but I've actually gone based on form and gone for Burn, the Irish or second row / back row. I think he could bring something different. He was actually insane for Ireland in the Six Nations. Completely outperformed James Ryan, who some people were calling to be the Lions captain before the Six Nations. I think Burns just completely played him up.
Yeah, they were.
What?
Yeah.
Because he's captained Ireland a few times now, hasn't he?
Yeah, people were weighing up there saying, okay, it's either going to be James Ryan, Itoje, or Farrell. I think this Six Nations has just like completely changed things around. For me, James Ryan doesn't even start now. I'd like to see Burn get a chance at starting.
Yeah, he's an absolute machine.
He's not rubbish, but he's just not on my Lions team. Not near it, mate. Not near it. Doesn't get near.
I don't get it though with Ryan, because like I was watching him play for Leinster last season. He was actually unplayable for Leinster.
He's that good or that bad?
James Ryan, no, he was that good last season.
Right.
Like
that he bad. He was unplayably bad.
Yeah, I'm player, but he's so bad you can't play him. Like,
no, he's like unplayable if you're the opposition. I mean,
oh right, yeah.
Like, and he'd like get turnovers. He's
been in and out of like concussion like injuries though. I think so. It's like
Burn pips it for me. But what about you guys?
I've gone for Manu Tuilagi, obviously. He is probably one of the best players in the world. Like, yeah, as he said, regardless of his pens, he is an absolute machine in every other aspect of the game. And then for literally, I don't know, I went for Alan Wynne-Jones because I think that is, as Ed said, being realistic, that is going to be what happens. Like, he's going to be especially with Wales actually winning the comp.
Why?
Mate, because he's a captain. You need a leader, and he is the best leader. He is the best leader, and he is a good player. He isn't far behind the other options, but he is by far the best leader, and you need that leadership in a line.
Boring. I don't want to see him play. I want to see someone play that's gonna like do.
Yeah, but he's gonna hold the pack. He's gonna be the glue that holds the team together.
Stick him in a Lions shirt, and you'll be gassed for him every time he does something. It's just because he's Welsh at the moment, playing for Wales, like.
Mate, put him next to Manu.
Look at everything he does and find him annoying and don't like him that much.
No, but when I watch him play, I don't think, oh my days, I don't want to play against this guy. He's gonna destroy.
The Welsh people do. They look at that and think like, oh my days, he's the best player ever. And that's what we're gonna think when he plays for the Lions, which
mate, his offload game's pretty good as well.
Likely as the Lions captain. I reckon he's gonna be captain as well.
I hope not. But I think the other person I was deliberating over was actually, you guys might be slightly surprised, was Johnny Gray, who I think is
I had him in for about half a second. And then
he's in really great form. I was quite impressed with him for Scotland and also ex-Tar as well. Pretty good.
I think he wasn't really not. I think it was them and then the Irish boys, Burn and Ryan, who I was considering also.
Yeah, there was him, and then there were just like
obviously you're considering all Irish players.
There was him, and then there was just like better players, to be honest. Like in my opinion,
I just don't think Gray's just he's like a workhorse, but
he'll probably tour because I think Burns going to go as like more of a back rower, to be honest.
The utility.
So if I move on, so I had Itoje and Alan Jones as well as Mal, so that's what we're going to go with overall for our selection. But I think Burns more of a back rower for me, and against South Africa I think you need that Brutus pack, so Burns my 6. I've got Curry at 7 and Faletau at 8.
Okay.
I've gone for Stander at 6. If you're talking about Brutus, he's a brute, mate. He bounces for days and he just demolishes everything. And he's Irish. And he's Irish. technically not, but
Wait, so Mal, what was your whole back row?
Stander. Then I nearly put Underhill in the back row as well, but then I decided to go Curry instead, and then Faletau 8.
Okay. Because I did, so I had Curry at 6, Faletau at 8, and then I was gonna 7 was the one where I was like, I really do not know, but I ended up going for Underhill just because. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was weighing out between Underhill, Watson, and Tipperick as well, who has actually been playing sick for Wales as well as Faletau. I personally think the back row that will get selected is Curry, Faletau, and Tipperick. I think that's what's going to get selected.
That's horrible.
Tipperick just I think we don't rate Tipperick because we're not Welsh, but I think if you are Welsh, I think you just Tipperick's like the ultimate 7.
Yeah, I think he's
he
going to get
is.
selected.
He'll definitely go. Like the way that he played on the last tour as well, and oh mate, he's just
he's actually sick. Like his attacking play, like he has flair.
He's Stander in the back row.
Yeah,
How are you not putting him in?
I'd prefer to put. You know what, Mal? What I prefer to do is put Faletau at 6 and Stander at 8. To be honest.
Would you?
Yeah. Definitely.
I think as long as Standard's in there, I think that's good.
But I don't know. I think
back row.
I mean, for us, I think we've all got Curry and Faletau, right?
Yeah, so I think we'll put Curry at 7, Faletau at 8, and then who do you guys want to go for? I mean, both of you have said Underhill, and both of you have said Stander. So I guess it's one of them and not Burn because you guys.
I don't think.
I think he'll be a bench player.
Yeah, I don't think.
Suppose he can come on in the second row or in back row,
Yeah, I think between the next starter is either going to be. I think it's definitely going to be between Tipperick, Watson, and Underhill, but I don't know which one. Or maybe.
Oh yeah, H. Watson. Completely forgot about that guy. Only won the Six Nations player of the tournament.
Yeah, I don't think he'll start though. I personally think. I actually think Curry at 6, Faletau at 8, Tipperick at 7. So that would be my prediction, not what I want, but my prediction.
Okay, but who do we want to go for genuinely at 6? Do we want to go with Stander?
Stander.
No.
Yeah, we'll go with Stander. I'm happy with Stander.
Mate, just think. Mate,
we'd rather.
Bosch. Do you remember the Bosch on Faletau?
Yeah, but then put it the other way around, Ed. If we're gonna have Stander, we should put Faletau at 6 and Stander at 8.
I don't like that.
Why? Faletau actually is a utility forward who can play 6. Stander's way more of an 8.
I don't like that. I like Burn at 6.
No.
I'm gonna fight Burn's corner because I just think he's just.
He doesn't start, mate. He doesn't start. I mean,
you had him starting in the second row.
Not in the back row. He's starting in the second row. But there's so many better players in the back row.
Really, I don't think many have played better than him. To be honest,
yeah,
especially at 6, and then you can bring on a back row forward off the bench and move him into the second row.
But it's not. But the way up you're doing is not like just who's better at 6 because it's overall across the whole back row. Because the riches are that a lot of the back row players can play across all 3, and it's just like what balance you have. So, for example, Curry can play 6, Faletau can play 6, Stander can play 6. All 3 of them, in my opinion, are better 6s at the moment than Burn. And then you have an embarrassment of riches at 7 as well, where you have Watson, Tipperick, and all those kinds of players that can play there.
Mate, I just don't. I think we leave the background, come back to it later.
What about Josh Beattie?
No.
Guys, realistically, the starting 3 will be Curry, Faletau, and Tipperick, I think.
And Navidi off the bench because Warren Gatland's a dweeb.
Yeah, probably.
I'd love to see what. Moving on. I don't like this back row chat. I'm a winger at heart. So.
You don't think Curry? Wait, Ed. You don't, Mal. You don't think Curry's like a certain?
No, I'm not. I don't know,
mate. He's an actual weapon. That bloke.
Yeah, I just don't. But mate, this is Gatland. You have no idea what he's thinking.
Well, we know what he's thinking. He's thinking, how can I start as many Welsh players as humanly possible?
Man, in an incredible turn of events, no England player tours. It's simply no Irish nine.
I think unfortunately we're not going to see as many England players tour as we did last time.
Maybe we might see Maritoje, and
I mean, we'll get through to the rest.
Hey,
of the
can they
squad,
take
but-
someone like they did like a few years back where they took like a Christian Wade or like Ugo
Did they?
Monye? Yeah, they took Christian Wade on the Lions tour, man.
what?
Like, are there any players like that? Like, can they take
Mate,
Cocker
you're
and Nasiga or someone like that?
Rory McConaughey.
Can they take someone
Mate,
interesting?
imagine Rosie went on the Lions tour. That'd be literally the greatest like rugby
I
career.
think
That
yeah,
would be
there are definitely players.
Bolter.
There are definitely Bolter, Roy McConaughey. There are definitely people like that
insane.
that you could take, like a Dogwoo, for example, or something like that.
No,
Yeah.
Or even Marcus Smith would basically be like that.
Yeah.
But Marcus Smith has
Don
more chance.
Don
to
Brand,
go than the others. So
Nah,
does Mason.
not at the moment. I think like when Christian Wade broke into the Lions team, it was pretty similar chances breaking into the England team that Marcus Smith has now.
Guys, we've completely forgotten about someone else. Sam Simmons.
Yeah. Nah.
I reckon he'll tour.
Doesn't get near the starting 15 though. Realistically, does it?
No, I don't. Think
Okay, moving on from the back row. It's too complicated, too hard to predict, and also it's way more interesting in the backs anyway. So let's get onto the backs. Number 9, Malachy.
Conor Murray.
Yeah,
Easy.
100% easy.
Yeah.
Lions experience. He's dank at kicking.
And
Irish.
we just
Settled
don't,
on-
we
settled
just
on Conor
don't
Murray.
have a really good, exciting 9, which is where my dream comes in of having Dupont at 9. The Bolter.
That'd actually be insane.
Yeah, imagine
Dupont's
Dupont's English great grandma comes out the closet and in he comes for the Lions.
They roll her out.
Get her out
Oh,
of the grave.
Oh
Well-
my days, that would be pretty cool.
Trying to think if there's any other 9s who are like actually good in the Premiership who aren't getting like that much attention who could make it, or in the Pro.
Not really.
Isn't
There's
quite-
that Gloucester
Been quite
nine,
impressed by Ben Spencer, to be honest. I'm surprised he hasn't played for England more.
because Eddie Jones likes
Bath
Benny.
are doing pretty bad though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're doing bad, but I think he's standing out in the team.
Yeah, maybe Rory McConaughey should play 9.
Yeah.
He's standing out in the team.
Right, come on. So we're having Conor Murray at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I had him in.
All right, 10. Malachy.
I'm gonna surprise you guys.
It's gonna be Finn Russell or something.
Nah, it's Owen Farrell, mate. You guys
really?
would have thought. Yeah, you guys
Not
would have thought I'd
surprised.
gone Sexton, but Farrell, mate. I back him. I actually think he was one of the best 10s in the world, like literally last season. I think he was like probably second best 10 in the world last season.
Probably.
After who? Johnny
Yeah.
Sexton.
Yeah.
Shut up. No, I agree. I've gone with Farrell as well.
That's weird. That's finally something.
Ed's definitely gone bigger. Ed literally bums bigger.
And please don't say bigger Ed.
He has. Literally, look at his face.
Have you?
No, I said Owen Farrell.
Yes.
Guys, we've actually agreed on 2 positions in a row. What the hell?
Wow, that's crazy. I think we'll agree on these ones as well. I'm hopeful.
Right,
Yeah.
12 and 13. Let's do them both at the same time.
Yeah.
Right,
me to
Maxon.
I've gone for Henshaw and Tuilagi.
Yes, mate. Mal, who have you gone for? Ringrose and Ringrose.
yeah, Ringrose. No, I've gone Henshaw and George North.
Okay, yeah. I mean, well, we had the news recently that Tuilagi will be fit in, I think it was May or, like literally next month. So, guys, if he's fit, if he's match fit, let's be real, he's probably one of the best 13s in the world.
North has looked good recently.
North, yeah, I think North will start.
He's really found his form.
The
I
thing
think
is,
Tuilagi could come in at 12, to be honest, and then North at 13.
No, Henshaw's been playing too well.
I think, but he hasn't got the North has got a stupid amount of experience.
Yeah, I just think
Henshaw's
Tuilagi
been on the Lions tour as well.
Guys, let's be real here. Like, we've seen the impact that Tuilagi has on the England team. He literally transforms a team. And I personally would think Tuilagi, if he is fit, if he's stringing together like great performances at club level and in like he obviously goes on the tour. And if he's
hard to know if he's going to be in like good enough form though.
We saw before. He only got like
match
fitness for the World Cup, like super short before, and he came straight in and tore up in the World Cup.
But are you going to put in a player like Tuilagi, who's like obviously renowned to be a good player, or are you going to put in Henshaw and North, who are both like been playing throughout the season at probably the best form they've been playing at.
I would agree with you, Mal. In principle, you'd play them, but I just think with Tuilagi, it just has to be an exception, just because he is that good. He's that much of a game changer.
He is that, mate. When you talk about Tuilagi, like he single-handedly has torn apart the All Blacks, like every team during the World Cup. He's literally England's best player in the last 10 years.
I think Henshaw is going to be one of the standout players on the tour, to be honest. I think he's going to literally just tear it up.
No, I think so as well, but I still don't think that takes away from Tuilagi being just an exception.
Tuilagi, you just add an extra attacking dimension.
You think if Semi-Randrandra was like injured for a bit and then came back from injury, you'd still take him on a Lions tour because he's Semi-Randrandra? It's the same with Manu Tuilagi.
Yeah, I'd take him on the tour. I would take Tuilagi. I just don't know if I'd start him.
Okay, but the moment Tuilagi plays and you see how dank he is again, you're like, oh my God.
I get what you mean, Mal. I just think when he goes on the tour, he'll play a few of the warm-up games against like some of the
it really depends on how he plays when he'll definitely make the tour, but it really depends on how he plays. And I just think going for like in a test, you're not going for like you do want like some just like solidarity, and I think North just like adds. I think Henshaw will definitely start, and I think it's between North and Tuilagi. I think North will just pip him there.
Can you get better? Can you get more solid than Tuilagi?
The other thing I could see happening is Tuilagi possibly playing 12. I agree with you, just to try and increase the effect of Dialande, who we all know is
he's
ridiculous. That's the other reason why I picked Farrell at 10 as more of a defensive 10, because I think if you pick someone like some dweeb like Sexton or Russell, they're just going to get run over basically.
Farrell's definitely a bit more like tough.
Everyone says he's like illegal with his tackling and stuff, but actually just hits people hard.
He's going to absolutely bumberclart at Dialande.
Yeah.
That 10, 12, 13 for me, and you look at those three and you're like, they're not through them.
That's experience.
Yeah.
That's a dang 10, 12.
Farrell.
Is there anyone else who we're missing out? I'm trying to think. Like, could like anyone?
Yeah, Chris Harris.
Yeah.
He played so well during the 16.
Edge your buzzing, mate.
Yeah, he's gone a bit weird.
Say something.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Start from Chris Harris.
So I think Chris Harris is one of the most underrated players in the Scotland team, and B, in the Lions kind of picture at the moment. I think Squidge Rugby highlighted him in his last video. And I know we're not the biggest fans of Squidge, but at the same time, I think Squidge does make some good points a lot of the time.
Mate, you're a massive Squidge Rugby fanboy.
When I agree with them, he makes some good points. And he did make a very good point about Chris Harris being like one of the best defensive centres in the world. And it is true. Defensively, he's good. Maybe not on attack, but I'm just thinking defensively, we're talking about Southampton.
Mate, who cares about defence? I just want to see tries. I don't know how much.
Someone I think we have.
Do you see what I mean, though?
I get what you mean, but someone I think we've actually missed out is Gary Ringrose, who actually genuinely had a really good Six Nations.
I think outshone him. Henshaw outshone him.
Yeah, but
they both played really well.
Yeah,
and they're both Irish.
I hope they both go on the tour.
And they both play for Leinster. They have that chem.
Yeah.
They got 99 chemistry.
We'll see.
They got that green link.
Should we move on to shut up? Should we move on to the back three?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to go with wingers? Actually, no, let's go with fullback first because that's easy.
Yeah, Hoggy.
Yeah, sure, Hog.
I want to see Hugo Keenan. I want him. I need him there.
Hugo Keenan's definitely on the tour for me.
Mate, he's so good. He's so good.
Now
Keenan is the second best fullback by far.
Wingers, Mal.
Duhan van der Skanker for the pure power.
His name, his actual name.
Yeah, Duhan van der Skanker for the pure power. And he's just a beast. Like, I want to see him against Cheslin Colby because he's just gonna like pick him up like a little boy. Just do like what when what's his name? North did that for Lau.
But Duhan van der Moer can't defend, man. He's actually been
mate. Did you hear what I said earlier? I don't care about defense.
Yeah, but he he's actually been exposed multiple times throughout the Six Nations. For
Okay,
being-
mate. If we're not putting him, then James Lowe.
No.
Mate, if you want to talk about defence, James
We're
Lowe.
not talking about James
No.
Lowe. Lions.
Nah, mate. Obviously, I'm joking. Nah, I'm sticking with Duhan van der Skank. He's just a beast. And then I was thinking apparently it's Lewis Rees-Zammit. But yeah, Lewis Rees-Zammit. But then I was thinking probably Anthony Watson. So
I
think what-
we'll ignore Mal's choice.
Mine was I also wasn't sure, but I went for May and Watson.
That is
May.
gas. That is England gas. Mate,
Mate, if you're
can
saying
you
May and
fucking-
Watson, I might as well
Mate.
say Lama and Lowe.
No, because May and Watson are like May before he didn't have the most amazing Six Nations. Before the Six Nations, absolute shoo-in. The bloke can finish anything.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Watson had an incredible Six Nations. I think he was probably the best winger this Six Nations. Louis Samet obviously had his moments. Both of them have really good, really
That's
great amount of
a lie.
experience.
I think that's a 100% lie. I think Lou Zammit definitely outshone everyone else in the Six Nations. Is by far the quickest player on the pitch in any match that he will ever play.
Apart from we proved in the last
That's why
podcast.
I haven't chosen him in my team. I've
Who
gone
did you
with
choose?
Anthony Watson, obviously, because he's fucking sick.
And who?
Keith
James Lowe.
Earls.
Keith. Oh no, that is bad. That is bad. Very bad.
Have you ever seen a more consistent winger in world rugby?
That's
Mate,
not
he scores. He actually does just score.
The bloke's got an insane scoring record, and he's also rapid, and he's also a 50-year-old
but-
man.
Wait, what?
Mate, he's in Rugby World Cup 2011. He's literally in that
Johnny
thing.
May for me, it's just quite easy.
I just like Keith Earls.
Johnny May, he can create stuff from nothing. He's reliable under the high ball. He's defensively good. Did you not see? Remember when we played against France last year? He literally scored 2 tries by himself. He has a capacity to score incredible tries.
Yeah,
and
is he
he's
annoying to play against? Really, I wouldn't be annoyed if I played against Johnny May. If I played against Keith Earls, I'd be like, "Who the hell is this bloke?"
Yeah, I think I agree with Ed. I do kind of want to piss off the Safi.
That is annoying.
I would
Keith
not play
Earls.
Keith
And imagine if
Earls.
Keith Earls scored for the Lions in a test. Like everyone really like, that's Keith Earls.
Who even is this guy?
That.
I would not play Keith Earls. There's
He
no
just goes
way.
under the radar and just scores. People just let him go. He's like a joke. He's a joust.
I really think Johnny
Yeah,
May should start. And I think there's other people above. Like I could list at least 3 other people above who I'd rather have than Keith Earls. Johnny
Do it.
May, Louis Samet, Duhan van der Merwe. I'd rather have Josh Adams probably than Keith Earls. I think some playing.
Josh Adams can get in the bin. He's so bad.
Keith Earls is more dangerous.
One person that I actually think could be a bolter on the wing, or not so much a bolter, very experienced, Simon Zebo.
I was thinking about this actually, to be fair, as well, but I just don't know.
He's a fullback.
Or at full, he covers fullback as well. To be fair, he is good.
Yeah,
But-
but no one displaces Hogg, and his creative capacity, as we've seen when he plays for Racing, and him and Russell are literally just pulling strings. I think he's definitely got a stake to a place in the squad for sure.
Yeah, and he's played Lions before, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So
How much does the Lions experience actually make a difference? Because
Yeah, definitely when you play on that stage, man, you know what it means.
I think it's also how it's also going to depend on what the person is like. Like if you're going to be on a tour and you get on with, if you're someone who gets on really well, with people, then it's going to obviously we have no idea about that. But for
Okay,
people,
so who are we going for on the wing? Do you have?
Okay, definitely Watson.
Yeah, Watson.
If we're not agreeing on May, then I would say not Duhan. I'd rather have Louis Samet, to be honest.
Mal, what do you think? Keith Earls? We can still go with Keith
No,
Earls.
Yeah,
Keith
let's go
Earls.
Keith Earls. Let's go Keith Earls.
Guys, come on, let's be real here. There's
Mate.
so many wingers that are playing so well and actually in form.
Keith Earls is in
Keith
form.
Earls
The
is
best thing,
outrageous.
right? You guys complain that Northern Hemisphere rugby, they never pick people on form. They always pick boring players. And you guys are picking Keith Earls, your Lions team, when you have Van der Merwe, Louis Samet, Johnny May, all these really actually exciting wingers
It's
playing
funny,
against
mate.
Chetzin
Mate,
Colby.
Earls is exciting. Mate, Keith Earls makes me laugh, so that's all I need from.
Right, Northern
Keith
Ireland rugby
Earls.
is so boring. Look, we don't have finishes like this. Yeah, you don't when you fucking play Keith Earls in your Lions team.
Keith Earls finishes tries, mate. He's good at rugby.
Mate, let's be honest. We're going to be breaking through with our centers.
Oh,
Like all
guys,
that.
we forgot someone mega in centres.
Who?
Like Jay Davos.
No, do not like him.
Has not been good enough in the Six Nations. He'll tour.
Jay
Player
Davos.
of the tour last Lions tour. Player of the tour.
Yeah. Okay, but who do we think that the Gallant's actually going to start on the wings? Louis Samet and Josh Adams.
Yeah. Nah.
Josh Adams.
Nah, he'll probably
start Josh Adams. He'll start Louis Zamet.
he'll want to do something that can balance. I don't
He'll
like
play Watson because Watson started the last tour as well. He'll definitely play Watson, and then he'll just go rogue for the next one.
Rogue. Yeah,
He'll
Keith
play
Earls.
Keith Earls.
Yeah. Mate, you need some like oldies in the camp.
So
Like,
stupid.
so solid under the high ball. When Tuilagi's busting through. when
busting through.
when Tuilagi's busting through, you just have Keith Earls just on the edge, like yeah, just like catching the ball and then just like taps it. He always does that thing. He runs, and just like taps it down, like the easiest running every time. That's
If you wanted someone like that, you'd play like, I don't know, the best person at that is Chris Ashton. After Tuilagi busts through, Chris
Yeah,
Ashton.
he's not
Mate,
quite
Chris
under the
Ashton's
radar.
alive.
He's not as
Chris
under the
Ashton
radar.
for the Lions.
Mate, also I completely forgot. What about Danny Kerr at 9?
No, he's just not as good as Murray.
No, but on the tour.
Well, can we talk about bench then? Because I had an interesting shout for bench.
Wait,
Yeah.
can we sort out? So we actually going with Keith Earls? Like I wasn't being serious.
No, let's go for LRZ.
Okay, we'll go for LRZ. Can we sort out our starting back row as well before we just go onto the bench?
Let's
So
go
are we going with Falatau, Curry,
Tipperick.
Stander, Tipperick at 7,
Yeah.
and
Curry at 6, Stander at 8.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I love it.
Or but then we're leaving out Falatau.
We're definitely sticking with Henshaw and Tuilagi in the centres.
Yeah, I think that's
Nice.
Yeah, our 9,
Okay.
10, 12, 13, I think is.
Right, my bench. I've gone for
OP.
6-2. Sorry, Mal.
I was just saying it's OPAF.
Right, my bench. I've gone for the 6-2 split. I've got an all English front row replacement just to bring on the absolute firepower because they are the best front
You
rows.
got them.
Okay, so I've got Luke Cowan-Dickey, Carl Sinclair, Maka Vunipola, all very experienced. Sink and Maka with Lions experience. They'll know how to come on and close out a game when that big scrum's inbound. They also play against the likes of Vincent Koch and people like that. So they'll be able to get inside his head a little bit. Well, Mako does anyway. So, yeah, let's think about that as well. On the bench in the row, I'll take out Henderson because he was mine before, but Ian Henderson. But yeah, obviously Burn compared to what our team actually is now. CJ Stander, Underhill, Ben Youngs off the bench, and Sanjay Wills, Liam Williams.
Interesting.
What about your sub? Who's your sub 10, mate?
I don't have a sub 10. Why do I need a sub 10? Falcon go full 80. I've got 6-2 split. I don't like having a sub 10.
Six.
Plus,
Wait.
if I'm desperate, I bring Sanjay off the bench for Farrell.
Wait, so who are your back subs?
He only has 2.
Ben Youngs and
Ben Young. Oh yeah.
I like
if
that.
I'm really desperate, I can move Hogg to 10 and take Farrell off and move Mr. Liam Williams into fullback.
I like that bench, but here's the people I'd change. I'd swap Cowan-Dickey for George Turner.
No, mate. If you put George Turner,
You're talking about me picking Keith Earls and then you go and pick George Turner.
Mate, I prefer.
I'd switch Underhill for Hamish Watson.
Mate, what about Kelleher at sub hooker? He's
Kelleher.
He's so good, mate. He's actually sick.
He's not going to go on the tour. If you're going to have anyone, it's going to be Ken Owens.
Yeah, being realistic, it's going to be boring. It's going to be Ken Owens.
Other than that, I like it relatively. I don't think I'd put Youngs on the bench, though, to be honest. I'd rather see someone.
Gareth Davies.
Yeah, bit more exciting with a bit more pace. You
I
know.
think Liam Williams has to be on the bench, though. Honestly, Slade's a close call, but
Yeah,
Liam
I was going to say Slade just because
I put Slade for the utility.
yeah, he gives you more flexibility. I think
He can play literally every position in the backs,
Yeah.
except
I don't know.
Probably-
I think there's so many options though, because even if one of your centers gets injured, like Henshaw to an 80, you move Farrell out to 12, you put Hogg in 10, and Sandri off the bench at 15. So you've got that.
I put Sexton on the bench as well. But being realistic, it's probably going to be bigger. Like he is going to be that guy, just come on and like slot some pens and just like see out the game. Or it could be Sexton and have some fun.
Dan Bigger.
Dan
Yeah,
Big. Yeah.
rated.
No, what do you guys think about George Ford?
No, won't go.
I think
Why did
people
he
bum him because of that Squidge Rugby video where Squidge Rugby were like, he's the best 10 in the world, but people are like, yeah, he actually is. I agree with you. All hail Squidge Rugby, but
If he was the best 10 in the world, we'd be winning games.
yeah, he's not. Let's be honest. So, I think Sexton for the bench 10.
Oh, I don't think that at all. Maxin, so what was your actual bench?
Well, I just wrote down like a few random names. I didn't do a full
Do
bench.
you know what? So are we going with Ken Owens off the bench, basically?
Yeah, sure. Ken Owens, Genge, Mako.
Genge, not Sink.
I put Genge.
Well, we don't have Sink starting, so
Yeah, Sinclair, mate.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I had Sink starting, so I'm happy going for Genge.
Mate, you had
going
Sink
for
start.
Genge,
You
going
didn't
for
even
Sink.
have Furlong on the bench.
No.
Are you dumb?
You're an idiot.
I just kind of like forgot about him, to be perfectly honest with you.
But Mako's definitely off the bench.
Fired.
Yeah, sure. All right, Mako and Sink then on the bench.
Yeah, that's Dean.
Burn, and CJ have to come on off the bench. I'm sorry, they're too good to leave out.
Wait,
CJ
I thought
starting.
CJ was starting.
No, we got Curry, Falatau, and Tipperick.
Okay, yeah, sure. CJ.
What?
I'd want CJ and
He's
I
coming
don't
off
want
the bench.
Tipperick in there. I want Stanza.
nah. Well, that's what's going down, mate.
What the hell?
CJ and I'd say CJ and Burn. Sure, I'm sad that Watson's not in there.
Who's your back row sub? I've got Underhill at the moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
Watson.
Underhill for that power. To be fair, would we not want? We literally gas up Underhill for being the best tackler in the world. Is he not gonna start?
No.
Or
I thought about it for a second and then I went, nah.
Watson on the bench for me.
Watson on the bench. We'll have Watson then, and then
Too dangerous.
And then Gareth Davies and Sandy.
wait, where's is Stander on the bench?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll run through it in a second. And then Liam Williams, obviously, for the experience and the quality off the bench.
I just would put Slade there instead. I would put Slade in because Liam Williams, you're not
doing that. Slade
No.
hasn't been in good form.
No, but mate, you don't tend to bring off wingers really unless they're injured or like we don't need we don't need someone who's a sub winger. Whereas having
But
Slade,
I said, look, Sanjay
back-
covers so much more. Hogg can cover 10. So
yeah, but we don't want that. We want Slade is a much better option off the bench because the likelihood is that we'll probably take off a centre, and then we can either keep Farrell on at 10, or we can swap him for our sub 10, whoever that is. And Slade can come in at 12 or 13.
Liam Williams.
Or he can come in on the wing.
I couldn't really
I agree in principle, Matt, but I just don't think Slade's been playing well enough.
He did low-key slice through Leinster yesterday in the first 8
Mate, I think he hasn't been playing that well, but he is a good player. I just think he's much better than Williams off the bench.
He did low-key make an excellent break against an excellent side and then set up a brilliant try.
He is a good player. He just hasn't been he just hasn't had the light shone on him much. But he is.
Okay. Well, this is a minor.
Pretty sure when we did our last Lions team, we all had Slade starting.
Go on, Ed, run through, introduce our old team, and then we can compare it.
Okay, so do you want which one do you want me to go through first? Do you want to go through our one?
Go through position by position. So do our old team versus our new team.
So the row is actually quite similar. So we've got Wyn Jones, Jamie George, and Tag Furlong, whereas we had Mako, George, and Furlong.
Okay.
So then we had Itoje and James Ryan.
Wait, so tell us who we're swapping out just to make it clear. So
okay, so we're swapping out Wyn Mako Vunipola for Wyn Jones. This one we have Itoje and Alan Wyn Jones. In our previous one we had Itoje and James Ryan. So we've
Yeah.
obviously swapped Itoje and Alan Wyn Jones and James Ryan.
Yeah.
And then we actually, guys, we had exactly the same thinking for the back row, but this is obviously when we thought Billy V was like really good or something, because we had Curry at 6, Tipuric at 7, and then Billy V at 8, and we've obviously swapped out.
I generally think it's you guy. I do not rate Tipuric that much at all. I think it was your guy. It was getting the same thing where you guys both thought, yeah, Tipuric, let's put him in.
Yeah, the same
And then
thing
I was,
happened. And then we went with
Stab.
Gareth Davies. We went with Gareth Davies in our previous one.
There's
Farrell
already
at
a
10
decent
still, Tuilagi at 12, Jonathan Davies at 13. So now we've got Murray instead of Gareth Davies. We still got Farrell. We've moved Tuilagi to 13, and we've got Henshaw at 12 rather than Jonathan Davies. It's weird. Like, oh, mate, Six Nations can change quite a bit, but at the same time, we've still quite a few similar
Wait,
players.
what date did we do this, Ed?
This was early, like mid
while
last year, mid 2020.
Oh, damn. This
So
is
then
probably
we
like
had
9 months ago or something like that.
we had Watson and May. We had Maxon's choices for wingers.
this is what I'm talking about, guys.
talking.
Mr. Consistent with his opinion.
And now we got Watson and Louis Samet. But obviously, when we made that previous team, it was different situation where we didn't know who Louis Samet was. So
But also May was the shoe-in.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we just absolutely destroyed Ireland or something. So
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
and then Hogg wasn't even on our minds. That's how little. we thought
Who
about
was it? Who did we have at 15?
Liam Williams.
Not Hogg. Oh, right, Liam Williams.
Yeah, I did think about him, but Hogg's just
And then
been playing too well.
On the bench, we had Carl Sinclair, Luke Cowan-Decky, Rory Sutherland, Courtney Laws, Toby Falatau, Thomas Williams, and Henry Slade.
Thomas Williams.
And now we have
Eden
Ken
Forrest.
Owens, Sinclair, Mako, Byrne, CJ Stander, Hamish Watson, Gareth Davies, and Liam Williams. So there are a lot of changes there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably to our starting lineup, and then lots on the bench. So it does show, time does tell. I'm wondering what Warren Gatland's Lions test starting 15 would have looked like 12 months ago compared with now. Certainly an interesting thought. Thank you so much for watching Much Ado About Rugby. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and you won't miss any more of our rugby content that we'll be producing in the near future. We've got quite a fun few episodes coming up. A mastermind episode, which I'm going to do for the boys. They just have to give me a specialist topic. So look forward to that one, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Rugby.